Crochet a tomato with me. This project you'll want red and green yarn, a crochet hook that matches the size of your yarn, scissors, and a yarn needle. I'm using really chunky red yarn because that's what I have, but you can use whatever type of red yarn you have. To start off, we'll make a magic circle and then do 6 single crochets into that magic circle. Once you have all 6 single crochets done, you're going to pull on the end of your yarn to close that magic circle as tight as you can. And then you're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet that you made. And then do 1 chain on top of that to secure it. For the next round, you'll be doing 2 single crochets into every stitch. So for every 1 stitch, you'll be doing 2 single crochets into it. And you will do that all the way around the circle till you get back to where you started. Once you've gone all the way around, you're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet you made just like you did on the first round and chain 1. If you want a small tomato, you can stop here, but if you want a bigger tomato like mine that I showed at the beginning, it will keep going into this third round. For this round, we will be doing the exact same thing, 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around the circle till you get back to the start. And once you've made it around, slip stitch into that first single crochet, and now you're ready to fasten it off. Trim your yarn and pull it through. I like to pull on the center yarn just to tighten up that center hole again, and then weave in my ends to keep it nice and tight. Now it's time for the leaves. So we're just going to attach our green yarn to our crochet hook, and then you can choose anywhere on your red circle to attach your yarn to. I just picked the stitch at the top. You're going to do a little slip stitch to secure the yarn in place. So the way I've done these leaves is by doing top stitches, and I do those by poking my crochet hook through a stitch or a hole in the red circle, grabbing green yarn from the back, pulling it to the front, and then pulling it through that green loop. So I'm working my way along the edge to do that furthest outline of the leaf, and the number of stitches you do is really up to you and how big you want your leaf to be. I'm doing, I think it's 5 or 6 down the edge here before I turn and go towards the center. As you're working on these top stitches, it can sometimes be tricky to know where you should put your crochet hook through, and it doesn't have to be a perfect stitch. Just anywhere where it fits, stick it through, grab that yarn, pull the yarn through, and you're good to go. So I'm just working my top stitches around, and then I'm going to be filling it in with top stitches as well. And as you fill in the leaf, you don't have to worry about getting every single bit of red covered up because we're going to be going back and filling it in later. Once you've done your last top stitch, you're going to want to trim this green yarn end extra long because we'll be using it in just a second. And then you'll pull that yarn through so it's sticking out the front. So thread that long green end through your yarn needle, and we're going to be using it to make stitches to cover up any red that's still visible in this leaf. So I'm just using that yarn needle to do big stitches with the green as a way to cover up any red that's left over. After that, we will repeat all those steps to make a second leaf on the other side. Last step, we'll use that yarn needle to weave in all those ends on the back side of the tomato and trim them off. And then we have our tomato.